Welcome to Midwest Paranormal Presents Paranormal Soup. I'm your host, Jason Plan, and this is our first Halloween special. Gonna have a lot of friends on tonight, as long as I can get them on. I'm working on a couple of them right now, trying to get them on the show. I sometimes have these issues, but we'll get them on here in just a minute. And for the first time ever, my beautiful wife, Susan Bland, will be on the show with us. I am so excited. Gonna have her, and my son's gonna be there in the background too. He's still wired off a Halloween candy. So we'll be with you in just one moment. Happy Halloween! I'm a Jedi. Yes, I know. I'm a geek, but I love it. So, we're working on getting Katrina back on. Katrina Cooper, I've had on the show. She's on her way home right now. It's Halloween. Everybody's been busy. She looks amazing. Can't wait for you guys to see her. We're working on getting Jamie, Damelos, and her boyfriend Jeff on. Jeff's going to be out on location most likely, so we're working on that. Oh, I'm like, what is that noise? It's my lightsaber. Awesome. So I went as Obi-Wan, and my wife went as pregnant Jedi, and my son went as Boba Fett. It was a lot of fun. We're working on getting Jamie on, so I'm hoping we can get her on here in the next few minutes. Jamie, if you're listening, I don't know if she's even listening yet, got to try to get on your Google Plus page, see if you can get it on through that link. She's trying to get on through her boyfriend's computer, which she doesn't usually do. She's had issues with her older computer, so she had that problem. We're also not going to have Lisa on. Sadly, her internet went down tonight, so Lisa won't be joining us all the way from England, or her boyfriend Adam. They were really disappointed. They really wanted to get on tonight, so it sucks. Next time, we'll get them on. Maybe not for Halloween, maybe for some other time, but I'll always have Lisa back on at some point. So who I do have right now, I have my right-hand lady, Judy. Say hi, Judy. She waves. I got Micheal James. What's up, Michael? From all the way from Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
He's a paranormal investigator and author. I've had him on the show a number of times now. He's presented some awesome evidence. And then you hear my son in the background. We got my wife and my son, Dean. You say hi, Dean?
Can you say hi, Dean? He has no idea what's going on.
Of course not. He can't hear.
He's back to playing Jurassic Park.
Uh-huh. This is my beautiful wife, Susan.
Hello.
She is a pregnant Jedi right now. That's her costume. Yeah.
And the belly.
So this is her first time on the show. I had to do a lot of coaxing to get her on. And hopefully Katrina will be back on in about 10 minutes. We'll get her, and hopefully we can figure it out for Jamie. While we're waiting, hopefully, for Jamie to figure it out, I'm going to put the share screen back up, and we're going to start the World Wide Web of Weird. Oh, yeah, you want to be a dinosaur, of course.
He can't even hear you.
I know. It's all right. All right. I'll get my share screen locked on me this time. I have a horrible habit of forgetting to lock it on myself. Okay. And to YouTube. All right. A lot of flying saucer stuff going on in the month of October, stuff I haven't got to or haven't to see, so we're going to check out this first one. Ominous flying saucer jumps dimensions over Denver. And I wonder if this is anywhere near the Denver airport, because they say that place is a hub for UFOs. Of course, brought to you by Secure Team.
Really, just a lot of
I'm hearing a major echo when Michael talks.
Oh, well, I got the button of echo on for any of the audio here. Mike, do you have headphones on?
No, I don't.
Oh, that's another reason. So we got this UFO. Sorry, I'm trying to work on getting Jamie on here. But we have this UFO over the Denver, and I know Denver Airport has, they think that's one of those secret bases of UFOs. There's a number of them they think are airports that are secretly bases for UFOs or underground bases. But I thought this one was weird. We got another one from Secure Team that Mike sent me just before the show, too. And again, it's always the possibility of drones, but this doesn't look like your normal drone that I've seen. But who knows? It's gonna be a lot of UFO stuff in the World Wide Web of Weird. I know it's Halloween, but man, the UFOs are dominating. It's got weird movement to it too. I don't know. Could be a drone. Here's one for my wife. This is October 13th. This is on her birthday. This is over Melbourne, Australia.
Got it.
You mean it was on the 14th?
Yeah.
God, you
That's
are
what I
hard
said.
to get you. Amazing.
I saw a pterodactyl.
That's so high up it could be sun reflection from the jet.
Yeah. It's possible.
Basically, going.
And they got it down at the bottom of the video here. It's going fast, whatever it is.
It's had something that looks like a friggin' pipe straight on the outside in the direction.
And the next one up, possible UFO sighting in Detroit, October 16th.
Oh, there's something in the sky.
Looks like someone's parachute.
I see little blades around them.
Pretty sure that one's a jet.
There's something in the fucking sky.
I thought it might be a hang glider at first.
Yeah, when it twists and turns, it looks like it's got a set of wings in it.
Oh, crazy.
Is it a bird? Is it a plane?
Super UFO.
Bro, what is that?
It's a spot.
I'll go with that too.
Here, take this.
What the fuck is that?
Surrey doesn't know. She's telling you to turn right.
What the fuck?
Sorry for the language, people. Now they get a little better shot of it.
Bro.
Kinda. Alright, here's the next one. Chinook helicopter carrying a UFO. This is October 2015. Doesn't have an actual date on this one, I don't think.
I'll go again.
That fits. It's supposedly a military outfit that deals with UFOs. It's all helicopters.
It seemed like a lot of weight for the helicopter to carry.
Yeah.
But those things can carry quite a bit. Didn't they carry an elephant in that one movie?
Yeah.
I don't know. UFO being carried by a helicopter, I had to play it. Told you there's a lot. UFO causes massive explosion as it enters volcano.
Which volcano is this?
Here. Dinosaur?
They have to keep slow motion because I have no idea what they're talking about.
Hello, dinosaur basic card.
Right in there, saying that. I think, if I remember right. Oh no, this is it. I forgot. That's this one. That's right. It flies so fast. I call shenanigans.
Yeah, I'll go with that.
All right. These are all the ones this in the last few weeks in October. I didn't get to cover them because I had the ITC show.
Most people wouldn't know me.
Hold on.
I'm an OG Vodka founder of 5 Hour.
That stuff tastes nasty. It does, and it doesn't even keep you up, man. I drank 2 of those and I was still falling asleep.
Try Rockstar.
No. I'm done with energy drinks. Trying to be. This was Trenton, Ohio, October 2015. No exact date on this one. Again. Oh no, October 14th. Your birthday.
It was a busy day.
Yeah. They're saying happy birthday, babe.
Yeah, as long as they don't abduct me, I don't care.
My wife is so afraid to see a UFO because she's afraid they're going to abduct her.
Don't join MUFON. You go looking for them.
No, thank you.
If you are a Jedi, you can fight them.
I agree with Stephen Hawking. It's better that nobody knows.
Not a recorded object.
October 11th. This is another Australian one. The flash up there. Kind of weird that it just flashes like that in the sky. Just the one time. All right, on to Bigfoot.
Two weeks ago, elders from the Champagne-Atikamekw First Nation were traveling on the Alaska Highway near Kluane National Park. It was late in the evening when they spotted a man-like creature crouching in the bush eating gooseberries.
So it's actually right here at this bush was identified the next day. That's where it was seen, and from what I've heard, apparently it was crouching like this. And when the car started to slow down, they saw it. It stood up and it looked right at them.
Over the span of 20 minutes, people in 3 separate vehicles say they saw Bigfoot here, but the fear of being ridiculed is preventing them from speaking out.
The tracks came this way. It went down and up that little bank, and that's where the Sasquatch was spotted.
Gates Junction resident Richard Smith didn't see the hairy man-like creature. He and others from the community came out the next day to investigate.
From what I understand from people down there, that they're very shy and they're a curious creature as well.
First Nation elders say stories of Sasquatch have been around for generations and believe the creature migrated into the Yukon from the Pacific coast, and he has a name.
Kusaka, he's that large hairy man that comes from the coast, and he used to be spotted around here for a long, long time. I don't know how long, but ever since I was a kid, I used to hear about sightings in the country of them.
We have the toes, and you see all these bumps up here.
The lure of finding Sasquatch has become a life passion for Red Grossinger. He even wrote a Sasquatch research manual for people who believe they've encountered one.
In Yukon, so far I have 130 reports were found. Out of these, there's 55 sighting reports. All the rest are either smell or loud calls, yells, shrieks, or
who do we got?
Friends.
Hi.
We got Jamie or Katrina?
This is Jamie.
Jamie.
Oh, thank God. We're doing the World Wide Web of Weird, and I stretched it out long just to give you time to figure out how to get on. Katrina's on her way back to get on, too. So I'm glad to have you on. So we'll get this World Wide Web of Weird moving.
Katrina's been back.
I'm already here.
Okay, I can't see because I'm watching the videos.
Yeah, I've been
Sure.
back.
We're just watching this
she's been here.
Yukon video, Bigfoot Sasquatch mass sighting. A bunch of people saw these Bigfoots on the side of the road, like 3 or 4 cars that went by saw it and reported. I thought that's pretty interesting that they were so near a road, a busy road. That's not usual, in my opinion, for most Bigfoot sightings. I mean, people see them on roads in the middle of the night, but this was like, I think a lot of this was during the day. So some curious UFOs, or UFOs, Bigfoots. UFOs might have been invaded. We talked about that before. Next Bigfoot is Bigfoot Conehead. Guy thinks he sees it in the woods.
Did you ever expect to hear me say something? I don't know. Site B was the factory floor. That's what I saw. A few weeks ago, a British family on the yacht cruise stumbled across the island.
Got a slow down version of this I'm going to play here in a second. But I don't know how he thought he could see anything.
Oh, it's gone now. But I got it, dude. Face and all, it was a big auburn squatch, really. Yeah.
I love when I call him Squatch.
There it is, there. Oh, I got his face. Here you can see eyes. He had a bare face. You see the eyes and nose.
Alright, here's the slowdown. You do kind of see a face in there, but I don't know. I call that matrixing. Right in there. On the ghost front, I have a little bit. I didn't play this last time on the ITC Collective, and I felt awful. This was from the ITC Collective. A member shared this. I'm not a big orb person, but when you see this, you'll see this is not your usual orb video. One, it's not done with IRs. It's done with, it is in low lighting, but it's no IR light, no IR camera. So here you go. And again, your birthday, Susan. See it? it's all slowed down.
My fault. It's in good. Terrific.
I thought that one was pretty odd. It almost seems
Can you
self-illuminating.
do the fast again? I didn't see it because Susan's picture came up. So I didn't see the regular speed.
Okay. Should have it locked on me. I do have it locked on me. Okay. Just checking. Hold on. I think this is her super
You
slow.
don't, because I keep getting flashes of everybody here, and I'm not
Well,
seeing
that's
anything.
your end. You have to lock it on
How?
my screen. If you tap down below, you should be able to lock it.
Aha!
Got it? Okay.
Thank
Here it is.
you.
Here it is again on your birthday, October 14th.
Yeah, I'm changing my birthday.
Like I said, I'm not a big orb person, but I thought that one was pretty interesting.
That one seems to emit its own light,
Yes,
too.
that's what I thought. And it does some weird stuff when it goes by.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And then she says she had a lot of. She says she gets lights in her home and stuff, if I remember right.
I love it.
Snapshot of turquoise. So where we go. Sadly, I forgot. I was put this up, but I forgot to put the notes of who posted this. I apologize. UFO2 or U3 on YouTube. That's who posted it. But it's a great video. I loved it. And I promised I was going to show it in IT's Collective. I apologize. I totally forgot that night.
I have one question about that one. It looks like it's emitting its own light, but could it be also reflecting the color of the fire? Because the flame at the bottom is a turquoise blue.
You know, I did think that maybe it's reflecting that light. It could be reflecting the light of that, but it still seems odd.
Well, I still think it's real. It's making its own light, but it's also reflective.
Yeah. All right, a couple more things real quick. All right, so the floating city, I've showed it before. Well, now they're saying it appeared over 3 other places. 2 other places.
Floating city over China. Well, here's the question. Is this Project Bluebeam? Is this CGI?
Project Bluebeam. So it's psychological manipulation of being able to, like, basically put things up in the air, make themselves look like God or aliens or whatever. They believe it's a government project to influence people or do whatever. So that's the very basics of what I understand of Project Bluebeam.
Is this Fatamorgana or an illusion, a mirage, as they're saying? What is it? Well, I find it pretty odd that right after this event happens, it happens again in another place.
I don't find it odd.
In another shot. And I want to share with you these details because I believe the final image is going to crack this whole case. Once I get into it, if I get into the show that there's a lot of fakery going on, you're going to see who's behind it in the end, or you're going to see that the stuff is holding up to be real, and there's only one thing I believe that could possibly be pulling this off. That's Project Blue. Now, with this newest event, you can see right here, this was posted by Natasha Marie. Facebook and YouTube is what they've got listed. And this was taken in Hastings. You can see this city type in the sky, or something massive in the sky. Once again, reportedly a lot of people witnessed this event. So what we have here are 2 events.
I'm going to fast forward here. He goes down, he talks about that, and then he's going to go to this one.
Definitely not China.
This one.
Definitely not China. America. Did you say?
America.
UK, I'm not sure. The colorist shared this on Twitter and said, look at this. People pointing to the sky, and look what it is.
It's the same exact picture. That's what it is.
This
Superimposed on this one.
Exact same structure above China. The exact one, even with the hole in the building. So, I messaged Belarus and asked, there's going to be a lot of eyes on this now. Did you take this? Where was it taken? We need answers. If we come to find out that people saw this exact same shape in the sky somewhere else other than China, and it was caught here, and they're just not realizing it yet, then there's something huge going on.
Yeah, I don't know. I call shenanigans. Because this thing's so viral. This whole floating city in the sky is so viral right now. Going around talking about people seeing this in China. Now, there's a lot of witnesses in China, but who's to say, you know, now people are going to go and make their own pictures and do their own thing. So I kind of call shenanigans on that one big time. One last video Michael shared. A friend of his gave him this, and then we're off the World Wide Web of Weird. Longest World Wide Web of Weird in a while. Here, yeah, Ohio-Kentucky border.
I still say it looks like a Romulan warlord.
Hmm. And it's crappy and green. It really kind of just disappears there right at the end. Doesn't seem like it flies away, but it disappears. Now this is like a clear shot. I don't know. I feel some kind of shenanigans going on with this one.
It looks like a glider or a...
No, to me it looks like a spaceship. It looks like a spaceship.
It looks like a military ship of some sort.
It'd be huge.
A military plane.
I would think it'd be huge, but I don't know. I have CGI feelings on this one, maybe. Maybe. Not an expert, so I don't know.
It's going so fast. How did they get such a close-up on it?
That first shot, when it first flew over, is when they grabbed that image.
I've seen one over here about 6 years ago, much thicker, but it went extremely slow, and we followed it for 12 miles.
Wow.
Wow.
That's a long time. Now,
yeah, and then it just zoomed off and disappeared.
Oh, man.
Crazy.
So that was the World Wide Web of Weird. I'm sorry, it was long. I had a lot of stuff to catch up on that one. Camera's back up. All right, I get in the Jedi robe off too because I am burning up in this thing. Even though it's wet, I'm burning up. All right, and I want to see Jamie's costume. How's it going, Jamie?
Pretty good. Did you guys have fun trick-or-treating?
Yeah, it rained. It rained. Yeah.
The whole time?
Yes. Now, last night we went out with not us dressed up, just him, and it was beautiful. So we at least got that. Tonight it rained. We drove him around in the car. Sorry, trying to get a Jedi robe off of me first. Oh, we got Jeff. Awesome. Probably look really funny trying to get this thing off of me here. But yeah, it totally rained. Last year it snowed, so. Oh,
nice.
Oh, I want to put that by the burning pumpkin. Okay. Just got the video going up there. All right, so tonight, Halloween special. I was advertised a lot. I don't know if I'll get anybody or not, but I am trying to get good ghost stories tonight. So I will have my Skype line open starting now. If you want to call in, you can do it now. We'll start now. I don't care. Otherwise, we're going to talk. We're going to hang out. This is a big hangout. That's what it is. You know, these guys aren't a guest with, you know, an interview. These are my friends. And some of them been on my show as interviews. You know, Katrina Cooper, Micheal James. I've done shows with those guys. Have been awesome. Jamie, she's been on my show quite a bit. ITC Collective show. She's, you know, she's a whole personality on her own. Jamie is bigger than life, I swear, when it comes to what she does. You're awesome. And then there's Jeff peeking around. They've been trying really hard to get this set up tonight, too. They got a green screen going.
Yeah, then we started having some driver issues. One thing led to another, and
yeah,
but it's okay. We made it.
Hey, at least you're on. That's all I care about.
We made it. We made it happen.
Awesome, awesome. So, like I said, tonight I will take any Skype calls if you want to call in. The Skype line is oojblandoo. So it's oojblandoo. You just send me a contact request, or if you're already in my list, just call on in. And if you got a good ghost story, I want to hear it. Until then, we're going to start off with our own ghost stories. I know some of you guys on my panel have some good ghost stories.
I want to hear some of your ghost stories.
I know.
I've been hearing about
I will start off. I got lots. You know, anybody I can say on the paranormal, I can't say I am a skeptic by any means. As an investigator, you got to try to be. You want to try to not assume anything's paranormal. When it comes down to it, I've seen so much, and I feel lucky to have seen some of the crazy, weird stuff I have, that I'm definitely not a skeptic. I believe there's another side. I believe there's something going on. Now, I'm a Gnostic in sense. I question everything. But I'm not an atheist. I believe there's another side. I believe there's some kind of presence on the other side. I believe in ghosts and spirits. I've seen it since I was a kid. I'll start with probably my earliest story. There's a couple stories I got tonight I want to talk about, though, from my wife and me, stuff we've experienced together, like our first apartment, which was really, really haunted, and a time we were on a road when we saw something, and it was really weird. But let me start off with probably my earliest memory. When I was a kid, it was just me and my mother, and we lived in this apartment complex. I remember playing with a little boy and a little girl. The little boy was Asian, some kind of mixture of Asian. And the little girl just had dark hair, but I don't think she didn't look Asian to me, but she just had dark hair. She had a white dress. I remember playing with them both. I remember her playing inside the apartment with me. When I got older, my mom told me this story of how she went to a psychic in LaPorte, where we live. We live in Michigan City, but LaPorte's next town to us. This psychic was pretty well known in LaPorte at the time. My mom didn't even go for a reading. She went there with a friend who was trying to get a reading. Well, during the reading, her friend was getting, the psychic said, "Here's your money back. I can't read you. Your friend out there I need to talk to. I got a lot coming through for her." One, my mom worked at the hospital at the time. She had taken care of, she was a respiratory therapist, take care of a lot of dying patients, and I think that had a lot to do with it. They want some of their family, those people that died that she took care of, wanted to come through and say thank you to my mom, which I thought it's an incredible story on its own. But my great grandfather was there, I guess, and he was really strongly coming through and a lot to say. And I'm not going to get into all that he told her. And there was a lot of stuff that came true. There's a couple things that didn't come true that weren't correct, but I think were purposely not correct. That's a whole other story on its own. But one of the things she said to my mom that really freaked her out, because she came out and said, I have to read you. And her friend's like, "I'll pay for it. You just take my money you're going to do for me, and then you do the reading." I believe that's what happened, if I remember right. So my mom's like, whatever. The lady does the reading, and one of the things she said in the reading was, "Your son, he talks to a little girl." And my mom's eyes probably got really big on that one, because I used to. I would talk to a little girl. She would hear me go, we'd leave the apartment, go, "Bye, little girl." Or, she'd be like, "Who you talk to?" "A little girl." My mom just kind of blew it off. There wasn't anything paranormal happening in our apartment. There wasn't anything weird happening. I had an imaginary friend I'd call little girl. No name, no nothing, just a little girl. And so when the psychic said that to her, her eyes kind of got big on that one. And she says, "Yeah." She goes, "The little girl is your daughter you miscarried." My mom, I think she carried 8 months. She carried her pretty far. And a miscarriage. It was another marriage, not my father, her first marriage. And she lost the child. That's devastating, to lose a baby you've held that long. And so you got to think, a child that's been that close to being born, it's got to be something powerful, like a soul, that's almost brought through the veil. Well, my mom told me this story because she's talking about it. I'm like, "Well, there was a little girl I played with, a real little girl." She's like, "No, there was never a little girl you played with. There was just the boy that was upstairs." but no little girl. I'm like, no, there was a little girl. We played outside. She was in the apartment. My memory, I remember playing with a little girl in a white dress and dark hair. I don't remember a lot. I was probably my son's age. I was 3 or 4 years old. But I remember her. When my mom told me the story, I'm like, well, I was just thinking, well, maybe I had an imaginary friend, but there was a real little girl there, in my mind. And Mom was like, you never played with a little girl. So that was my probably first experience, because she's still in my mind. And me and Katrina have talked about this. Katrina Cooper is an amazing medium. I think she's sensed this.
Hello.
I think I've always felt this little girl. If she was there when I was a kid, I don't think she's ever left. I don't see her
No,
now.
she still has it.
Yeah, but
No, she's still there.
Yeah, and that's my feeling on it, that she's always been there. And my great-grandfather, who came through on that reading, the woman said he protects me and my mother. And I've told my shadow person story on here and how I believe he intervened on that. I think it was him. I think we did my wife's on this one. She's going to kill me. I think I told her this, but we were doing a live session down here on an untagged Tuesday. You were on that one too, weren't you, Jamie? Yeah, Jamie was on that one. And my son was upstairs. And I got this really weird feeling. I'm like, okay, I got to go check on my son. I go up there, and he's hiding under the table. I'm like, what's wrong? He goes, there were ghosts. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well, what kind of ghosts? What do they look like? He goes, there was a man, and there was a girl. I said, what did the man look like? He's 4 years old. So he's trying to like describe what a man looked like. He's like a man, So he doesn't have the descriptive qualities to really tell me too much. I'm like, knowing that my great-grandfather wore glasses, I asked him, did he have glasses? She goes, yes, he had glasses. Now maybe I influenced him there. I don't know. But I asked him, the little girl, what was she wearing? And he said a white dress. And that's what I remember of her. So I don't know. So maybe they were in my house protecting him. I still feel like like he's there to protect me. So that's my first ghost story of the night.
Always with you. Always.
That's my first one. So I'm not going to tell another one. I'll save that till later. What I'm interested in is who's going to step up here in my panel, or who's going to call on my Skype line. If anybody wants to call in, don't forget, oojblandoo on Skype. You can tell your ghost story, or even if it's a related ghost story, like your friend told you this story. I don't care. I love ghost stories. I'll take whatever you give me tonight. Honestly, I love hearing any kind. So go ahead, feel free to call in. But who out of the panel here wants to start sharing a ghost story or an experience they had, or even, like I said, an experience that was given to them, they always stuck in their mind?
I've got one I already told Katrina about.
You can tell it here.
And it's really long, so I'm not going to go into the whole thing. You're familiar that I had a friend that committed suicide when he was 15, and I was 15. A couple years later, when I was in high school, we were being followed around from a dance, my girlfriend and I, and this car full of guys pulled us over, and they were just kind of weird, and we asked them if they knew this particular person. Why? I don't know, because it had been a few years since he died. And they said, yeah. One guy said, yeah, I know him, and he kind of looked like him. Later on that night, it started snowing really hard. We were driving under a viaduct, and we turned on the brights, and we saw this guy hanging from a tree.
Whoa.
And then when we came back, I lived in an apartment building, and there was a building like here, and then the parking lot where cars could park here or park behind them. There was probably a good 6 inches of snow on the ground by then. It was snowing really hard. And we were being followed again by a car, and we pulled in the parking lot, and she goes, we're being followed. And I looked behind, and didn't really strike me at the time, but the whole windshield was just coated with snow. How these people could see where they were driving, I didn't know. We pulled in here, they pulled in behind us over there, and we were like almost afraid to get out of the car, right? Because of all the weird things that had been happening that night. So I said, let's just get out of here and run inside. We get out of the car, and the car's not there behind us, and there's no tire tracks going into that spot or anything. And that was the same night we saw him hanging from the tree and all that. And this kid used to tell me when we were growing up that if he ever died, I mean, it's like he knew he was going to die young. He goes, I'm going to come back. I'll come back.
Did he kill himself by hanging?
Yes. Yeah, he was in jail. He had run away from home.
Oh, wow.
Because of molestation.
He also crashed your computer the last time we did the meeting.
Heavy breathing on here.
Yes.
It's typically something he would have done, too.
I was texting Judy during the time it was happening on the broadcast, so I do have, we both have proof of it occurring during the broadcast.
And I just feel like he's always been with me. It's been 40 years, and not a day goes by I don't think about him. You know.
I told you he was there.
That was really weird. I almost want to pull up that video. I haven't edited it down. I'd have to fast forward the whole episode.
Bizarre because it just kept getting louder and louder and louder.
Yeah. So people haven't seen the episode. We had Pasadena Paranormal Research Team on here, a team Katrina belongs to from Texas, and we were talking. I don't remember what we were talking about at the time, but Judy.
Pictures. They had pictures up.
They had pictures up, and Judy at the time. Katrina texts her. This is what happened. Katrina texts her that you felt that he was with her?
No, I said he's there because he wanted her to know that it was okay that she didn't make it. And Judy knows what we were talking about. She wanted to go and visit him, and I told her that it really doesn't matter that our bodies where they were. It's like instant traveling. That's the best way to explain it. But while we were in the interview, I told her, I said, he said it's okay because he was with her. And at that time, I'm texting her, we experienced that she lost communication with the broadcast.
Booted. Yeah, she got booted from the broadcast.
Yes, and so she was, and then that's when he also messed with her cell phone, right, Judy?
Yep.
And at the same time, right after she got booted, we started getting this heavy breathing on the show. And I
missed all that.
Yeah, you missed all of it. I end up, as soon as I start hearing the heavy breathing, when I'm on video, when you guys see me on another screen share, I'm not seeing anybody in the panel at the moment. I'm on that video. Well, I flipped over just to see where is this audio coming from. When I look at my show, and I look at each person's box, like I'm talking right now, I see a little green bar on my box go up because that's where the audio is. And when Judy talks right now, I see the little green bar go up. Whenever the audio is coming, I can tell who it's coming from. Everybody got quiet because we're listening to the breathing. There was no green bars on anybody, but the breathing was still happening. I thought it was Rhodey first, but then she got quiet. We all got quiet. We're listening, like, and nobody said a word.
It was doing it when Rhodey was talking. I have a whole timesheet for you guys.
Yeah, it was doing it when Rhodey was talking, but we got quiet. When we got quiet and nobody said anything, it was still doing it. It showed no audio source for it.
I wish you could play that now because that was just so bizarre.
Jason, I also was texting Kristen during this conversation and some others too, so it also corresponds with what was going on. You know, I like to back up what happens. That helps a whole lot because we got a lot of skeptics out there, and I can't tell you how I do it, but it happens, and I love it when I can show exactly how come. And I also was trying to give you an audio, Jason, because we went to the killing fields, Rhodey and I, and we got a fantastic EVP, and what was beautiful about it is that it occurred during the time I was talking to one of the spirits. We're going to need you to be able to clarify it for us, but I say, is that you, the young one? And you hear some voices, and I'm saying, I hear you. So at the same time, I'm acknowledging that I can hear it on the other side, but we also have it on audio, and that is fantastic.
Wow.
I can't wait to show it to you.
Did you say you went to the killing fields out here in Sacramento?
Hello?
Where was that at?
Were Katrina? You at the killing fields?
No, the killing fields on 45 outside of Galveston.
Oh, okay, okay.
Hey, Jamie,
no,
was Jeff
the killing fields in Galveston on I-45.
Jamie, was Jeff still going to try to do the cemetery run tonight?
Probably not.
Okay. Technical difficulties, too. We don't want to make it any worse. It's cool. It's cool. But yeah, you know, we've got some weird stuff on this show, definitely. If I had more time, I would make this.
Two of them has been, yeah.
Yeah, both of them you were on. Yeah, with the demonic growl that we got. Yeah. I have to get time. It takes hours to get those videos processed to get time to edit them all down.
You did a great job, though. You did a great job.
But yeah, they're really weird stuff. I did edit down the demonic growl. I do have that somewhere on one of my channels.
We have a few extras too, and I know that when I caught the children in the background, I know that we have to throw it out because your son was there when we were doing the show. However, I do have a text message that corresponds with the same time frame that shows that I was telling Kristen, because she has 2 slave girls that are living in her home that like to play and havoc. And there's 2 voices of children on that, not just your son. So I know because we have a variable that needs to be thrown out, but I need to add my text message in there at the same time frame that puts a reasonable doubt.
Yeah, I'm gonna have
Can
to get
you guys
that
hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
I have some. I'll see you guys in December.
Yeah, I have to try to edit that down and get to that and listen to. There's a ton of stuff in that episode. I just got to get the time to process it and do it. All right, so we got
a problem.
We got Judy's ghost story. In between the next ghost story, I'm going to pick on somebody here because I know you all have to have one. You're all involved. Everybody gets involved has experienced something. Before I do, I want to get you guys want to hear some EVPs?
Sure.
Tonight. All right.
Yeah,
Pull up my
that's
file.
our favorite game.
Yeah, mine too. All right. Well, Judy's been with me on probably almost all these EVPs, almost. You got any requests, Judy? I might have it ready. I don't know.
Some of the ones of Justin's were pretty good. The one at his place.
Ooh, that one I have ready. I don't have the lick my ball sack ready.
You do have that one?
No, I don't. I should.
Oh, I sent you that one.
I know. I have it up.
I thought you were talking about yours.
No. No, she got one. I got to figure out where I put that one at.
Is it ready for the show?
My son was being belligerent to something in his room, and it told him to lick his ball sack. Nice EVP.
Yeah, very nice.
But some of the other ones from his house when we did the investigation, we had some good ones.
I thought I put a couple of those in here, but now I'm not seeing them.
A lot of them were yours.
Yeah, I know. I gotta pull that up in another file. Hold on. Let me see. Yeah, we had some weird stuff. Justin lived in this house he rented, and there was belief that somebody had been shot and killed in this house. Did I put that in there?
Yeah, and I can't remember if it was a spirit box or the EVP when he asked, when we're doing the fear session, and he asked, were you shot? And it said twice. Can't remember if that was the EVP or spirit box.
You know what's weird, though? I've been having problems with Justin's stuff because I thought I made a folder for it, and
yeah, you had one before.
I know, and I haven't been able to find that folder for it. That's why I haven't done any Justin stuff on here.
But Justin's stuff started in another apartment,
yeah.
Then at this apartment, and now at home. With
Yeah,
unplugging his Xbox One and everything.
I have to find out what I did with that folder. That's the problem. I should have known you were going to bring up Justin's because that's the one I'm having issues with.
Yeah, he's got some good ones on there, or we got some good ones on there.
Yeah, darn it. I don't. That's the one thing I don't have. I don't have Justin's stuff pulled up. That's the one folder I'm missing. I don't know what I did with it. It's here somewhere. Maybe it's under one other folder. Nope. Yeah, I'm going to have to figure out what I did with it. I know I have it backed up somewhere, but not somewhere I can easily get to it.
Do you have the one with, because I said that to you too, when I was, got that orb over the tombstone at that one cemetery we went to, and the little girl goes, no.
Did I pull that up? I think maybe on my other one. Hold on. No.
That was just cool because I had that big giant orb right above her tombstone at the same time.
See, those are like those orbs we get like one out of thing, and I don't have a file folder for them, so they get lost in the mix of all the other.
Yeah.
Oh, Judy's son. Hold on. Guess what? I found Judy's son. All right. Let's see. Let's take a listen to EVP number 5. I think it might be one of them here.
You like being alone?
Play it again here.
You like being alone?
This is when he was doing, I think, the fear test. He was by himself in his room. Nobody's in there with him. We're all being quiet in another room, monitoring him on video, and you get this voice. I think it's saying no. Just that's it. Now, I don't like the no answers, but it's a clear voice that comes through, though.
You like being alone?
I either think it says no or alone.
I think there's an edited version of that too on there. I'm not sure, but do you have one that's marked EVP over Spirit Box or? There's one where you can hear a distinct Southern accent, and it sounds like it's "Oh my God, tonight."
Is that one I got or you got?
I don't know who got that. I think it was me when I was setting up to do an EVP session.
I only have the stuff. I only have the stuff in the folder from what I got. I don't see the stuff that you gave me. Darn it!
I don't know if that was yours or not. But
Has anybody got an audio file playing?
Not right now. We did her a minute ago.
It sounds like wind going on right now.
That's Michael. I don't know what it is on Michael's end, but he always has that.
Okay, I was like, what the? All right, got it.
That's Mike.
That keeps my computer core cool. I'm running a terabyte system.
Yeah, that's what it is. All right, here's another.
I thought we were having somebody breathing again.
I still want to hear that one.
Is that breathing?
It's really, this one was really faint. It says not us. We got some weird ones. Judy, I wish I had your stuff though, because you had a really good one, and I don't have your.
Yeah, I had a.
Let's go
I could probably get off of here and send them to you.
Yeah, you can do that. You can try sending it to me.
Yeah, I'll sign off here. I'll come back on. I'll try to send them to you.
Okay. Well, let's do it. Let's do a couple of like other favorites really quick. All right. Let's see. EVP show. Let's get this up. All right. We did this investigation. This was with Indiana Ghost Trackers. This house had a history of fire. It had burned down. I don't remember the date on it. It almost burnt down in original history. But the people that lived there, they left everything behind. They were so frightened. They had spontaneous fires that would happen in the house. I saw the burnt marks, and there was no electrical near them where the burnt marks were. I mean, they left TVs, they left clothing, they left everything behind in this house. They wanted nothing to do with this house because of how bad it was. So
they had groceries on the floor. They had been there a year.
Yeah, you can see where they just booked it. They just finally had enough. And they just left it. Now the bank has it. All right, so let me play the original.
Okay. Hey, Jess. Coming out. The door's coming out. Yeah. Okay. Hey, Jess. Coming out. The door's coming out. Yeah.
You hear a voice. You hear people talking. Now, this wasn't the most controlled situation, but the voice is really weird in the background. It almost sounds like a birdish kind of voice.
Was that child's voice?
I don't think it. I don't know.
Because there was a little boy that was killed.
Yeah, there was a little kid, but the voice is really crackly, weird. It's like, I won't say what it's in. Let me play the edited version.
Okay. Hey, Jess. Coming out. The door's coming out. Yeah.
Play the ice. Now, anybody want to take a guess? I think it says, and I've always thought it says, is burnt down in that really weird voice. which would be significant because, you know, this place had so many spontaneous fires and had a fire that killed a child.
Very well could have.
Yeah.
With that certain voice of when, you know, the kids when they're first learning to speak, and that's that tone I'm hearing at the end of the down.
Almost like a lispy kind of sound.
Yeah.
It's just such a weird voice, though, you know, like the vocal cords are wrong. But it's weird. And I really honestly thought it says burnt down. Let me see with this one. I think I have one more from there. You want to take a guess what this one's saying? It's hard to hear. What I think it's saying is, I'm cold. Or it says cold, and it says I'm cold.
Is it cold? Yeah.
Which I also find significant in a house that always has fires. Like, if they're cold, are they trying to warm themselves up?
Yeah, like cold. I'm cold.
Yeah. I mean, I seriously saw a burnt mark on a counter that had no electrical near it, nothing. And they said they just saw it. The flames just sprouted up out of nowhere on this counter. It was
wow, like a combustion?
Yeah.
Like spontaneous combustion?
Yes.
Wow.
That's when they were just like, we can't live in this house. They left.
No. No.
Now, for anybody who lives in our area that ends up watching this episode, this is not the Dewey Street house or Dewey House out, I think, in Valpo or whatever. There's a house called the Dewey House. That's not it. This is just on Dewey Street. I won't give any other information beyond that. We just call it the Dewey Street house because of that. So I played a couple EVPs. I might play a couple more. We'll see. But I want to bring it back up to anybody who wants to tell a ghost story.
I'm going to try to, I'm going to sign off here and try to get some of those to you. They're right on my desktop, so.
Okay.
Would I just email them to you?
Yeah.
Okay. Alrighty.
I'll jump in, why not?
All right, go for it, Mike.
This is about 4 years ago, but it's been happening ever since. Down at Fort Mifflin, on the Delaware. Jason, you know where it is. We've had several conversations about that place. Remember the Scream that I played for you, and you played on one of your shows? Well, I was walking by the parade grounds down there, and there were several dozen people in there, tourists. And I was standing close to a small group of them, and all of a sudden it was like there was a shift that happened. It's kind of hard to explain if it doesn't happen to you, but I think that the lady from Texas would probably understand this more than anybody else. That all of a sudden it was like somebody else was in your head.
Yeah, you've told me
and
this.
And the guy was talking to me, and I actually ended up saving this guy's life because of it. He said blood poison. And then I went up and down the line, and I looked, and I was talking back and forth, an active conversation with this entity. And it turns out the entity's name was Jeremiah. So I ended up telling this guy about it. What's that?
What was the name?
Jeremiah.
Jeremiah.
Yeah. And it turns out that this guy was taking medications from a doctor who was taking them the wrong way, and they would have killed him in the next 3 or 4 days if it hadn't got caught. So that's an instance of where this one particular entity saved this guy's life by working for me. Another time I was over at Eastern State Penitentiary, and I was sitting down in I don't know exactly what they call it, but it's where they put the death sentence prisoners. Death row, I think they call it.
Death row?
And all of a sudden I ended up channeling this one guy. And a lot of people videotaped it, and ran down the information and found out that it was accurate. It was one of the inmates back from the 1930s that actually was executed there. So I still have no memory of it whatsoever, but this guy actually did exist. We ran it down on the record. So those are just two of the things that have been happening to me for the last 7, 8, 9 years. It just continues to happen, especially this time of the year. It's like I-95 at rush hour. So that's all I got for right now.
Well, that's cool, man. And I still think you had some amazing photos on our show. If anybody goes back and looks at my YouTube channel later on, I did an episode. You'll see Micheal James as the main guest, and we did some. He had some photos from the U.S. Olympus, right? Olympia, right?
Yeah.
And
by the way, she's been. Yeah.
She what?
She's been fully restored now. The last thing they have to do with her is bring her back to water integrity, and then they'll float her down to Delaware as a museum.
Right now, I have a really good ghost photo. I'm typing the person on Skype to see if I can get them to come on to talk about it. Her name's Jill. Like I said, she's from Pasadena, a paranormal research team with Katrina. So like, you have a minute to talk about it? Because I'd like to have her. I just don't want to show the picture without much of a story. I do have it ready to go.
I wasn't with them when they took this picture, but I think that it may be also at the killing fields too, because this is a stretch of highway that consists of 20-some miles. I guess 2020 did a story on all these women that would come up killed and or buried or just thrown out along I-45 going towards Galveston. And my friend Jill is, she's honing in on her abilities. I help her with a little bit on how to ground herself. And she just got a hold of you? Good, because she's got a great picture that is beautiful.
We're gonna wait. I'd like to get. I'll have her talk about it. She said she's driving right now. I'm gonna tell her to call me when she's ready.
Okay.
Because I can't wait.
Yeah, they had a Halloween party I didn't get a chance to get to.
Because this picture's incredible.
Yeah, you're gonna love that story. It's a fantastic capture. It's an awesome picture.
Yeah, I if she can't get on, I mean.
But you're going to move on to something else until then, right?
Yep. Oh yeah. I'm not going to sit here and wait for her. No. She's driving right now. I talked to her before about coming on Skype, the Skype line, to talk about it. I can tell another story. This is a night for people. This isn't my normal routine for a show. This is the night to hang out, with people that I can't go and see because we all live in different areas of the country. Jamie's in California. Katrina is in Texas. Micheal is in Pennsylvania. So this is our way of getting to hang out with each other on our favorite night of the year, because we're all paranormal enthusiasts here. Or besides, we're investigators and researchers. We're enthusiasts. We love Halloween. It's got to be. I got to agree. Everybody here, Halloween probably your favorite holiday.
Favorite.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that would probably.
Hands down.
So, and I know it's my wife's. She probably can't.
Sorry, Christmas, but Halloween is doing it.
Same here. Well, I work retail, so I absolutely can be a bah humbug and hate Christmas. So for people, not my normal show. This is just a hangout. We're hanging out, talking about ghost stories. I was hoping to maybe get some callers in tonight. I'm going to get Jill hopefully when she's done driving. She said she will. She'll call in. Pull up that photo. Yeah, go.
I'll step in, but I don't call mine ghost stories. I speak to ghosts all the time, so.
You call them spirits, by the way, too. So.
They're my friends, so it's nothing scary. But I can tell you the first time that I saw spirit in full form and was able. It was my mother had a home in Sawyer, Michigan, off of Warren Dunes State Park. Are you familiar with the area?
Yeah, definitely. Far from me.
The house that lots of spirits there. I grew. I stayed there for a summer, and we got up in the morning. No, it was probably 3 o'clock in the morning. And my mom's legally blind, so the TV needs to be very close to her to get some kind of stimulation. And I got out to use the bathroom, and I saw a lady probably in her 20s and a gentleman that was standing right behind the rocking chair. She was sitting in the rocking chair, and he was standing behind the rocking chair.
Uh-oh.
So, of course, I abandoned going to the bathroom,
Right.
and ran and went back to my bedroom, because I was probably
How old were you?
Maybe 10?
That reminds me, really quick, I'll let you go on your story, but,
Sure.
you're saying this, me and my wife were laying in bed watching, oh, God, now I forgot it, the movie with the kid, I See Dead People, Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense.
Sixth Sense. Thank you, Susan. We're sitting there watching it, laying in bed watching this one night and staying up like too late, and the ghost like messes with him. He's like trying to, he's trying to go to the bathroom. I'm like, why is it the kids when they try to go to the bathroom? That's when the ghost going to attack you. You know what I'm saying? Or try to go after you. It's when you got to go to the bathroom. You see the poor kid, in the movie, like
it is
trying to hold it in. He's looking around. Of course he sees dead people all the time, but it's like. They got to definitely go after him when he's got to go potty, No,
the worst part that I would always do, and everybody can laugh about this, but I was afraid to flush it like I'd wake them up.
Oh, wow.
They go, oh, she's up, come and get her. So that was my problem. I know you're laughing, but it's true because I always have chatter in my mind, and I've always seen things, but to see something as solid, that was my first solid encounter. And the next, my brother's going to hate this because he won't even see a scary movie. But he said he's seen the same thing the next morning. But yeah, I'm not scared to flush the toilet anymore.
Well,
but,
I would hope not.
That was, when you're younger, I was afraid I was waking them up. And yeah, so that's kind of, I probably shouldn't have said that on YouTube, but
no. We've seen a lot worse things on that show.
I know some hippies.
I have many different. The first time that I had seen into the future or the back in the past was I was with a boyfriend. In fact, it was in Michigan City, Jason.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it was in 1986, and we were on Michigan Street, and it went into the back, and we were looking at a apartment, and I, for some reason, knew everything, where all the closets were. Never been there. I swear, never been there.
I know that feeling.
And I was starting to get pretty freaked out, and I'm going to the lady, and I said, I've been here. I go, all I saw was this white pane in the front of the building as if it used to be a barber shop. So I had asked her. What really did freak out is that she said that there was a barber shop on Michigan Boulevard on the front because, apparently you guys, your buildings, it was a business in the front and apartments in the back, and that was the way I went. So that was the first encounter that I had of seeing physical in front of my eyes, but being a past visual. So
that's cool. I got one. Yeah, well, I got one. I would like Susan to tell if she's available. You there, hon?
Yeah, we'll see how long that lasts. Okay.
Yeah. We got my son there in the background.
Yeah, he's having some problems with Jurassic Park.
Yes. We try to keep him occupied with Jurassic Park
Well,
on
I
Xbox.
can't talk him out of watching it, and he won't watch Netflix. So I've been constantly helping him.
Well, Netflix might be bad for my bandwidth.
Well, that might be.
The one I wanted you to tell, hon, is about the little girl ghost in Frankfurt, I believe.
Oh, in her second house. Yeah, I always thought I had an imaginary friend. I didn't know until, God, we moved here, I want to say in 1990 to Indiana. All my life I thought I had this imaginary friend in my house like every other kid does. And No, we were sitting at dinner table one night, and my mom, I don't remember who brought it up. My mom's like, she wasn't imaginary. She died in that house. They don't know how, because I think my parents were only like the second or third owners, and it wasn't a very, let me see, my parents moved there in 76, and they bought one of the first houses built in the subdivision. Or not even a subdivision, it was a suburb of Chicago. So there wasn't, I mean, the homes weren't even that old, so I don't know how she had died, or if she had died and just resided there because it was her home. But yeah, my mom told me, she's like, you didn't have an imaginary friend, she was real. So
Well,
I don't know if she's still there. I don't know if anybody else has had problems. I don't know who lives there.
Didn't she go down and see your grandfather? He thought it was your sister?
My parents, yeah, well, my sister was a towhead blonde as a child. And my grandfather confirmed it when he had said, we were sitting at the breakfast table next morning. He's like, why were you standing over my bed, Ashley? And she goes, I don't know what you're talking about. I wasn't in your room last night. And so my mom had to explain to him. So my grandfather had actually been the only one who had actually seen her like up close. But
they would see her walking, like.
Yeah, they would see her walking, because the way the house was set up, my parents could sit in the living room and look through the stairs in the landing and see the 3 bedrooms that were upstairs, and they would see something go from my sister's room to the bathroom but never come back. I mean, it was never my sister getting up to go to the bathroom.
Yeah, I always loved that story, especially how it like stood over your grandfather.
Yeah. And to have him see it, that was out of all people. I'm not playing. Wanna play? Well, then I guess we're done with the game then, aren't we?
Oh, he wants a different game. That's usual.
I'm not
okay.
Game tonight.
Yeah, I wanted you to tell that story. There's another story too I have, but I might say that for a little bit later. Jamie, do you got one?
Yeah, I can tell you about the first time I saw a full body apparition.
Awesome.
And it actually was the same lady. I saw her probably 4 or 5 different times. And I was about 8 years old, and my mom was going to Heald night school. She wanted to get her business degree, and my dad was home with us. He would be sleeping, and my sister slept down the hall, and there's like that one floorboard in the middle of the hall, like that when you want to try to sneak out, you got to jump over that one board because, it'll creak really, really loud.
Yeah.
So there's this really creaky board in the hall. And it was a school night. The first time I was sleeping, I was laying in my bed, and my door wasn't all the way shut. It'd be kind of open about this far, and I had my dresser sitting right next to the door with a little lamp on it, and the light switch is right there. So when my mom would come home from work, normally she would just kind of peek her head in the room, check in, and then, check on my sister and go in her room. Well, one night I woke up because my light was on, and I'm rubbing my eyes and I'm looking, and it was like my mom, but not really my mom. She had her same kind of like blonde hair though, but it was more wavy and a little bit longer. But she had on this nightgown that was white, and it had lace around the cuffs of the sleeves and a high collar with like this lace that came up. And she would turn on the light and just stand there and just look at me. And I would just lay there and I would look at her. And then she'd turn off the light, and I'd hear the shuffling, like the shuffling of feet down the hall, like of socks walking on carpet, and then the creak of the floorboard, and she's gone. And so I'd go back to sleep. Well, like the third time it happened, I started getting kind of mad because it was waking me up. And my mom in the morning, asked how I was doing, and I said, I'm doing good. I said, but do you think you can not turn on my light when you come in, to check on me because it's waking me up? And she said, I don't turn on your light. And I said, yeah, you do. You turn on the light and you sit there and look at me. And she said, I'm not turning your light on. And I said, yeah, you are, and you're wearing this like weird nightgown. and she said, and I told her about it. She goes, I don't even own anything like that. She goes, I am not. She said, I'm still at school. You know, I don't know what you're talking about. So I'm starting to think I'm going kind of crazy or something. So like the
How old were
fourth
you?
night,
How
I
old
was
were you?
8.
8.
8 years old. So the fourth night, I'm laying on my bed, and sure enough, the light comes on again, and there she is standing there watching me. And I'm just standing there watching her, and I'm trying to make sure I'm as awake and as aware as I can be. Like, I am awake. I am looking at this, you know?
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there, and again, she turns it off. I hear her going down the hall. And this time I get up, and I went and I touched the top of the light bulb. And it was warm. Like, the light was really, really on.
Yeah.
So then I went through the house. I checked. My mom was not home. Her car was not there. My dad's asleep. My sister's asleep. And I'd seen her one more time after that, and I haven't seen her since. And she's one of the ones that I always wonder, because I've had this presence with, I have a couple presences that are strong, but a female in particular, very strong. And I don't know if she's a relative or an angel or a guide or who she is. I've been trying to get a name for a long time. It could be Elizabeth or Alice, but I can't get verification or confirmation. But
So people know JJ Paranormal. Is that the name of your YouTube channel? I was trying to remember the other night.
That's Jamie Chapin Damelos. It's just my name.
Jamie does a lot of
but JJ Paranormal is our Facebook page.
But you do a lot of Periscope and YouTube. You do a lot of spirit box communication or apps using, from Ghost Hunter apps and stuff, trying to communicate. And
I think I just.
You cut out for a second. You're fine. But I was telling people that you do a lot of spirit box communication.
Mm-hmm.
Trying to communicate. Do you think you've ever been able to make contact with that ghost through those devices?
There's been a few times with the radios, with the PSBs, that I have gotten responses. I had some other apps a long time ago that I was getting a lot of verification from at the time, and it was correlating with what my other devices were saying and doing. I set up flashlights. I set up meters, Milligauss readers and EVPs. EMFs. I have lots of different things all around. So if I'm getting the same response, or everything all of a sudden is behaving the same way at the same time.
Hold on, Jill. We'll be with you 1 second.
More likely than not, it's not a coincidence. And
That's
it's
cool.
worth looking more into.
Well, I just got Jill on the line.
And I'll ask the same questions. Oh, good.
Yeah, so we got that picture. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Jamie. We're waiting for Jill.
Oh, not at all.
You there, Jill?
Yes, I am.
Awesome. Everybody hear Jill?
Hi, here.
Hello.
Hello, Jill.
Hi, Katrina.
So Jill.
Hi, sweetie.
How are you?
Jill's part of the Pasadena Paranormal Research team, or society team, but from Texas there. And you got this. Now, this picture, I got to get my screen share up. I'm working on that right now so we can show it. Let me see.
I'm actually, Jason,
Yeah.
I'm with two teams. I'm with Pasadena Paranormal Research Team and a new team that has spawned off of that one as Bay Area Paranormal. And I was actually with Bay Area Paranormal when we got this at a cemetery.
So this is from Bay Area Paranormal.
Bay Area Paranormal, yes, sir.
Okay. Now, you took this picture?
Well, the one of the girls that was there that took this picture, but this is me.
Okay. Who took the picture?
Her name is Deborah.
Deborah?
And she is also with both groups.
Okay. Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
She took the picture. She has this is with an infrared camera.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and this infrared camera takes 3 pictures in a row. Well, the first picture didn't have anything. This one came up in the second picture. I don't know what the third picture showed. I'm sure it showed the same thing. I don't know. She only sent me the first 2. This one, because as soon as we took this picture, I said, I feel a man behind me peering around me. I feel his hands on my shoulders. He's a very big man.
Well.
I said, I'm seeing he's peering around me. He doesn't know y'all. He doesn't trust. He trusts me. That's why he's behind me.
Wow.
I said, I see he's wearing blue jeans, but they're dirty. I said, they're not a homeless dirty. They're a working dirty. And I said, then I saw a red and black plaid shirt with sleeves rolled up about 3/4 up the forearm. I also saw, and that was dirty. And I said, and I saw a face. I didn't see a color. I didn't see what color hair or shoes. I just saw a dirty face, like an oil dirty, not a homeless dirty.
I got to ask you, Jill,
Yeah.
because I'm always interested in this when people have these experiences, because I've had my own. When you're seeing this, you're not seeing it with your eyes. It's more like in your mind's eye.
No, it's like pictures I'm being shown in my eyes, or in my mind.
In your mind, yeah. That's the
Yeah,
experiences I've had.
And this is just a way of confirming what I was feeling was true. It's just confirmation.
It's a huge
my mentor,
confirmation.
Miss Katrina, there. She is my mentor. I have a lot of abilities that are starting to open up and that just happen, and I have no way of controlling them. So this is, I know I'm opening up, and I can see these things with, and it's pictures. Sometimes it's just.
I know that feeling. I know that feeling where you don't feel like you can control it. It just happens.
Yeah.
When you want it to happen, it doesn't. And
Right.
when it does, and then when you're not expecting it, it does. It's like that old Warner Brothers cartoon with the dead a frog in the box. You know, when the guy opens up the box and he's by himself, the frog dances for everybody.
And
You
it
know,
doesn't
for him.
dance for anybody else. Is
Yeah,
it right?
when he goes to show people the frog, it's this dead limb frog. That's what psychic abilities have been like for me. You know, saying it happens out of nowhere. You know, the least expected time. So, but yeah, no, that's awesome. So, what was the name of the cemetery again?
It was in League City. I don't remember the name of it.
Okay.
It is a historical one in League City. It's right near water. It's by the water plant. It's in the middle of a subdivision. It's near some railroad tracks. That's the only thing I remember from it. But they do hold ghost tours here, because apparently the Historical Society says, yes, this place is haunted.
Wow.
Yeah, so we were able, and there was another picture that I didn't send you. It was another infrared where I'm sitting on one of the benches, and I'm asking, you know, I'm here at the bench, come sit with me, come converse with me, come talk to me, or stand beside me. Well, one of the pictures you can see me sitting on the bench, and then the next picture on the edge, you can see a spirit just like you can see me, but you can see, and it's the same consistency of this one.
It's a weird picture. When you sent this to me on Facebook,
Did you
I was
say
like,
that
holy
there's
God.
running water around you?
Yes. There's water around. Yes.
A lot of running water. And then are the train tracks still working? Or that sounds like a lot of energy alone just around that area to hold in.
Right. I don't know if the train tracks are still running, but I do know that the water, because there were boats out on this water, it's like a bayou or a lake or something, then there's boat slips and stuff that people can, so it's very active.
Well, Bodies of Water, Ghost Lab.
Interesting.
Yes.
Ghost Lab did a great episode once, the Kling brothers and that, where this house was sitting right on the Mississippi. And they were picking up these weird EMF signals. Well, they did EMF sweeps around the Mississippi and were getting weird EMF coming off the water. They took samples of the water, and they could find that the water itself is producing electromagnetic energy at high levels. And the Bodies of Water can do that.
Especially if there's granite around.
Oh, yeah.
If there's a lot of granite, the houses that are built with the granite and going into sides of the buildings, then they'll have an old mill or something with running water. They usually have really high levels of spirit activity.
And
cobblestone too.
Yeah, cobblestone or limestone.
Lime.
Yeah.
Yes.
The other, the
Limestone,
other thing that makes me think about that you say is by the graves, the graveyards by the body of water. If I remember right, a lot of Native American cultures did not like to bury their dead near water. Maybe I'm wrong on that, but as from what I understood, they did not like to bury their dead near water.
You're correct.
Well, you'll drink it.
Yeah, well, that's true. That's a good point there. They didn't embalm their dead.
It decomposes.
But some spiritual sense, I think I understood. They didn't think it was a good idea, that it would have disturbed spirits if you did that. So maybe that's another reason why it's so active, that, you know, us white men came here and buried our people near a body of water, and the Indians are just shaking their heads at us like, oh, idiots. But you know, the picture's credible. So Jill,
Yeah.
before you go, I have
This
to add.
one, I just found the cemetery. It's Fairview Cemetery in Lake City.
Okay, Fairviews.
Fairview.
Fairview.
Fairview Cemetery. Yes, it's the League City Historical Society is the one who keeps it up, and they have all kinds of things going on every year at this cemetery.
We got to get down to Texas one of these days. I got to get down to Texas.
I just had a friend of mine.
I've invited them.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on down. We'll be glad to host it.
Me and my wife were talking about it.
A friend of mine who just did a book called Deer Park Hauntings, and she signed the book for me. She came and dropped it off, and it's about my street.
Oh, geez, that's not what you want.
And it's about my street, and it's like, oh my gosh, because there's a man that I see, a spirit that's at the corner of the house, down in the corner, every day as I go to work. He's there.
So this is an everyday thing for you now.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, her house was filled with them when I came to her house after Teresa Caputo's.
Oh,
yes,
Teresa
and
Caputo?
I have since.
Yeah, we went to see her, and that was an interesting situation.
Oh yeah, that's another whole
What a
nother
story.
discussion. Yes, whole nother, and it was amazing because I'm hearing Katrina in my right ear, in my left ear, because she's sitting next to me, and as soon as she says it, Teresa Caputo says it, and I'm like, okay, these ladies are for real.
Oh, I always said when I first met Katrina, I'm like, you remind me a lot of Teresa Caputo that I see on TV. That's the same kind of upbeat, joyful.
Yes.
Because I'm not knocking. I've had other people, you know, other spirit mediums I work with. They can be very grouchy people. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's just because they've dealt with something all their life that they get irritated easily with the whole field sometimes, or with people. I don't know. But they come off some bad vibes sometimes. I'm not saying they're not legit. It's just that, you know, you can ask my wife. Katrina's the first medium she really got along with. It's not that she hated any of the other mediums. It's just they always seem to kind of bump heads a little bit.
But Katrina's a special spirit. She is a very upbeat, very special spirit, very positive.
We were just talking last night.
Ladies.
Me and my wife were talking last night. You know that we should plan a vacation to Texas. It'd be so cool.
Yeah, I want to do Dirty in Dallas.
Dirty in Dallas. That sounds like a porno. It sounds like a porno.
It's a book signing.
I know, but it sounds like a porno.
It does.
Dirty in Dallas.
Could be close.
Right?
But yeah, you need to come there. You need to come down to the haunted areas. We've got the battleground. We've got the battleship. We've got all kinds of stuff down here that you need to come down. We've got the killing fields.
Well, my wife's got a book club that is going to be meeting down there. That's why she really wants to go and to meet Katrina and go do the killing fields. The hotel. Is that? Yeah.
The Ott Motel. I was going to broadcast tonight from there.
Yeah, we want to stay there.
Come on down.
I have. I got some beautiful things. I know them personally.
The only problem is we'll have our
want
kids.
To take the boys.
That's the problem. We'll have the kids.
And we'll have to drop them off at my house.
There you go. See, we got
to the Ott.
There we go. There we go. Katrina's got some kids there. Could be some babysitters.
I have a 6-year-old.
Yeah. See, we got built-in babysitter vacation.
You may not survive.
Yeah.
You will not be surprised.
Well, Jill,
but
one
Jill's
more thing
a
before
sweetheart.
Jill, since you've been experiencing this all since your life, I have to know, since we're getting ghost stories and that, what was your first major encounter? I always say the one that scarred you for life.
The one that scarred me, oh gosh, I was 18 years old. I was recently married, living on my own. My husband was at work, work nights. I was laying in my bed. 3 o'clock in the morning, I hear I was lived in a studio, so my bedroom was upstairs. I hear somebody hitting the walls as they're coming up, like we always did, because there was no hand railings.
Yeah.
I'm hearing that, and I'm going, honey, are you home? I'm looking at the doorway, and I don't hear anything. All of a sudden, I see a black man. in a white tux with a red carnation.
Weird.
And he comes toward me, and I'm like freaked out. I was like, oh my God, what is this? I couldn't move, and I kept rubbing my eyes and going, no, 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 this is not right. And I'm looking, and I'm seeing him getting closer and closer to me. And then and then above my bed, I didn't have a headboard, but I had a carpet that had, you know, you've seen these pictures, like it had a panther. You know, these ones that they used to sell on the side of the roads.
Yeah.
Well, I had that up there, and I was like, and he reached for that, and like he was going to pull it down over me, and I covered my head, and I'm thinking, oh my God, what's going to happen? And I didn't feel anything, and I looked up, and he was gone.
Wow.
And that totally flipped me out. Those
Well, yeah.
apartments are no longer standing. But that freaked me out. But I've had experiences my whole life, and that was what really just blew my mind. I called my best friend at 3 o'clock in the morning. I said, I need somebody to talk to because I am totally freaked out.
Yeah.
And we talked for a
How do
couple
you
of
go back
hours.
to bed after that?
Yeah.
No, you did. You don't.
You don't.
You
Nope.
don't. So, and I didn't. So, we talked.
Actually, it was her. My scary one was when you were carrying that minion on your back.
The minion, yeah.
Jill?
That one kind of freaked me out, but I didn't realize
Yeah,
it
I
was
would
there.
look at her.
Oh, she's the one. You've told me this one.
Oh God, you've already talked about.
She told me this one.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know.
Well, I'm looking at her and it's behind her. It's crazy.
Yeah, I've had that experience where you see something attached to somebody. So she saw a minion, as you called it, attached to you, Jill?
Yes, it was. He was draped over my shoulders. It was like he was riding piggyback, and his legs were around me, and he was like meshing into me. I was having vision problems, and I'm like, why am I having vision problems? And she told me about that, and I'm like, oh my God, I'm having vision problems. And she knows this. He says, this is the one that's causing it to you. And he was attached to me so he could go in when I was going into church, or when I went into investigation, and I was putting my protection on me and my holy water and all of this. He was becoming part of me.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was horrible looking.
So
reminds me of a doctor.
I didn't want to scare her,
Yeah.
you know, but it
took me 3 days to get rid of him.
Wow.
Between all the prayers that I had Katrina and another medium helping. I had a shaman friend of mine. I went to his house. He helped. He kind of saged me and then gave me holy water and holy soap, and I took a shower. It took like 3 days to get rid of this, and I could feel it ripping from my back.
Oh my
I could
God.
feel it ripping from my spirit. It was the weirdest feeling, but I felt so much lighter, and
Oh, I bet.
I felt like, wow, I can see better. Wow, this is amazing.
My wife.
Well, Kristen was going down the wrong road with the demonology, and her dad was not happy with that. So we got that all cleaned up after that, right, Jill?
That was me. Yeah, Dad didn't want me
yes,
doing that.
Fantastic. That's correct.
Yeah. So I've started doing more healing and reading more books on angels and healings and things like that. So.
Yeah, I've always been interested in the field of demonology, but I know I'm not ready to commit to doing something like that. That's a huge commitment to get involved in it. Yeah.
And I don't want to endanger my family and my
right. That's the reason I haven't.
That's exactly what it'll do.
Yeah.
Her house was filled with them all over the place, and I was going to go into her house, but see, my guides and my loved ones on the other side know that I don't listen to them very well when it has to do with me. And frogs were at her home. That's my kryptonite. And I immediately turned around, and she goes, where are you going? I was saying, nope, not supposed to be here. Not supposed to be here. I got to go.
Maybe snakes for
but
me.
she had probably, do you remember, yeah, there was all these there was loads of ghosts and people just surrounding her home, and they were piled on top of each other. It was just, I'm glad she got that cleansed out. No wonder her street is the
haunted.
That's why all the stuff is going. on around my
It's
home.
one of the reasons I don't visit as often.
Okay, well, now that I understand, I'll just have to come visit you.
Yeah, there you go. Well, thank you so much for calling, Jill.
Not a problem, Jason. It was nice finally talking to you and meeting you.
Yeah, it was nice meeting you too, and thank you for sharing the picture. You have a great night
Absolutely.
and happy
All right,
Halloween.
you too. All right.
Bye, sweetheart.
Bye, sweetheart. Talk to you later. Okay, babe?
Yes, hon. Bye-bye.
That was awesome. Let me get the screen share back off here. All right. Yeah, it's an amazing picture. I don't know what happened to Judy. I need to check my email really quick because she was trying to send me that. I want to see. Oh, she did.
I just saw a pop-up saying she might need a new invite. She can't get back on.
I just sent her another invite.
Okay.
Because I was starting to worry. Oh, she just sent me a text too.
Hey,
I got her EVPs. Okay. I'm gonna tell her I just sent one because I want to get her back on because she got me the EVP, so I'm just gonna play them right off my email from her son's house. I might send it to her again. Sometimes these invites, they go out and then they don't. You know, it says they're out and then they don't. Let me try send it to her again. But I got the EVP she was talking about. But
did you just play it?
No. I don't know what that was. That might have been from
that sounded
my
weird.
wife's end. I was going to say, my wife, Susan, you were mentioning what she was talking about sounded like a Doctor Who episode. The episode's called Don't Turn Left, I think is what it's called. And it's all about this thing attached to Donna Noble's back. People are like, what's on your back? People would see, like, certain people would see it. Special people would see the thing on her back. She's like, what do you mean what's on my back? She wouldn't see it. And it was like this creature thing attached to her back that was like made her travel back in time. It's a great episode, but that's what I thought of exactly. Me and my wife, we think exactly the same way. I was thinking that same thing, and I heard her say something.
Yeah, that's exactly what it reminded me of.
Me too.
I was getting gas one time, and this one lady was getting gas too, and I looked at her, and she had 3 dark energies with her, but it was the first time and only time I've ever seen it. Her face was missing. Does anybody know what that could possibly mean? I've been dying to find out.
I've heard that.
This woman living, getting gas, and she had no face. None at all.
Alien?
Of course, I got in my car and left.
And my wife said alien.
This woman, she looked regular. Well, I do believe in aliens too, so I guess I met my first reptilian?
Maybe.
I've always wondered about stuff like that.
There's another possibility also.
It was real.
Yeah. You got another possibility, Michael?
Yeah, a lot of the people I deal with from the paranormal societies up here, a lot of the psychics and a lot of the mediums like that myself, we come across this occasionally. More than likely what it means is that there's the person's about to pass to the other side of some sort of action.
Well, I was going to say that. That reminds me of some of the Edgar Casey kind of stuff. Like he'd see something weird. Sometimes people would be colored red or missing faces, and then they would die.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I've always seen them a different way, but that was my first and only time I ever seen a person with their face completely missing and walking.
I've never seen something like that.
It was extremely freaky. I have not seen it before, but I have seen many that I find have passed away, and I see it a different way. But you're correct. It was 3 dark energies around her, and I definitely can tell you that they were not good. So maybe she was being possessed or what, but that was the most bizarre I've come across. Besides actually seeing a loved one's soul leaving their body.
Or they're death collectors.
No, she was that's a great idea of thinking, but that was the first time I seen it like that, so I don't know. But she was coming back from paying her gas, and I just got in my car and went somewhere else. But I had a very weird thing happen today that everything was going in slow motion, and it was only humans that I was seeing that on. It was like a vibration going on, and then I'd look at the TV with a human today, and we all know that Halloween has a lot more in common on the spirit world than candy, and today I think that I might have experienced something I've never experienced before. I really felt like I was in a tunnel today, and my boys were looking at and it looks like it was all on the left-hand side. It was kind of like I was seeing them in dimensions, and they were having to catch up with time. It's so hard to explain. It was like Flash Gordon. Remember when we would watch it, and they would every human being for about 4 hours. I don't know what to explain on that one.
Did it have a color?
You might need to mute yourself, Susan.
Yeah. I didn't hear you, hon.
Did it have a color to it? A color hue?
Now, I've get many ores. I'm really good at color ores, but this is at least 3 feet. 3 feet on just the left side of each human that I looked at of energy, and then it's like they caught up to it. That's the best way to explain it.
Yeah.
It's like they were catching up to the vision, and I was explaining it to my sons, which also possess gifts, and they didn't see it, and I still freak out my husband after 17 years, so he didn't even want to hear about it, you know? So he just sat down to make sure there was no. But that's my first time of experiencing that one too, and that was today. So
Wow.
I thought I'd reach out to you guys and see if you've ever heard of this story.
Have you ever heard of a term called drift?
I'm sorry, what?
Have you ever heard of a term called drift?
I have not.
No, me neither.
I have not.
Some of the people I talk to also, we do a lot of studying about this kind of thing. It's not the first time I've heard about it. The term drift means that...
Awesome. I'll have to catch you on the side.
Well, Jason knows how to get a hold of me, so just tell him and I'll hook you up on my Facebook.
Find me. You'll find Mike on my friends list.
Great, well, but I'd still like to hear it.
Yeah.
In a nutshell, drift is basically people, when they're trying... Their spirit is not quite caught up with their entire body yet, and you're seeing more of their spirit than most people will ever see, because they exist on 2 or 3 different planes at the same time.
Absolutely. So that would be the reason why only humans the animals weren't showing that. Yeah. I look at the TV and none of the furniture was showing that. I was wondering if I was having a stroke, honestly, because it was like a tunnel vision that was occurring on the left side, and I guess I'll have to ask for it to happen again.
Still trying to get Judy back on. It's not letting Judy back on, sadly. After I knew she shouldn't have left because I was afraid that might happen. I don't know why. She did get the EVPs to me, but I'd like to have her on to play them. What she got? These are from Justin's house. Let me see if they'll let me play off my email.
Do you like dogs? Do you have a problem with my dog? Do you like dogs? Do you have a problem with my dog?
It just says A. It's not Justin because we had him on video. So I always videotape any somebody's alone. I videotape our EVP session so I can see that. Here's another one. Let's see. We'll play this one. That one won't play. This one I think this was a spirit box. Now somebody was shot in this house, so this is an interesting one. I'm playing this for Judy. I don't know if she's gonna be able to get back on or not, so I know she wanted to play these.
Were you shot? Twice? Were you shot?
Twice?
We got a lot of those kind of communications through the spirit box that night, and something to do with somebody being shot. And the rumor was somebody had been shot in that apartment twice to the chest, I believe, was what they said. There's another one.
It was a woman's voice.
Yes. Yes. I got the chills.
We were getting a woman and man. This is a house, too, that when Justin was asleep, he had his phone out, and in the middle of the night, it wasn't even in the same room with him. His phone was out in the living room, and he was in his bed in his bedroom. His phone calls Judy in the middle of the night, and she gets a strange man's voice, like, in the background, garbled, trying to talk to her. And then, when they were on the phone together, it came through on them. So we did a test that night, and I don't know if she put that one on here, but she went out to her car and had the audio going through her Bluetooth in her car from her phone, and me and Justin called her to see if we could get it to do it again. And she got a voice. We didn't hear it on our end, but she got a voice on her end. I don't know if she's got that one in here, though. I don't see it tagged. Darn it. No, darn it. I hope she had that one, because that's cool, because it comes through. It's faint, but you hear a voice come through on her end. What's this one?
Do you like dogs? Do you have a problem with my dog?
That's that one. Same one.
I'm feeling it great.
That's my flashlight.
I keep getting this thing where I feel like it's hard for me to breathe.
Yeah, me too. I feel like that. I don't know, it's weird.
That one's at the very end. Nobody's saying it. They're not saying it. It says stop.
I'm feeling it great.
That's my flashlight.
I keep getting this thing where I feel like it's hard for me to breathe.
Yeah, me too. I feel like that. I don't know, it's weird.
Like it's whispering right into the recorder. Thought she was going to send me the Lick My Ballsack one. That one's recorded in her home. Seriously, that's what it sounds like. Thought she was going to send me that, darn it.
Can you slam the door shut for me?
He's alone. You're hearing this female voice. He's alone in his bedroom. We're recording this.
Can you slam the door shut for me?
So we got some weird ones from her son's house, and I think he brought it to her house.
Was that like a faint woman right there?
Yeah, it's at the end. It's a female voice.
Yeah.
Those are the ones she was trying to send to me. There's other ones she has. I thought she was going to send me some of the other ones. But sucks. Oh, we got Judy back. Hey, Judy, you there?
Yeah.
I just played them.
Computer problems. Oh, did you? Damn it! I want to hear them too.
I was like, I wasn't sure if you're going to get back on, so I'm like, oh, I better play him because it's getting late.
Yeah. Did you find the ball sack one? I did put that on there.
I didn't get it.
It's
It wasn't
there.
on there. It's not on there, man. Oh, it's that first one. It won't play.
It won't play?
The first one, it won't play.
Oh.
Yeah.
What about the Southern accent one? Because I don't think I ever showed you that one.
That's not on here either.
It's got to be. It'll say voiceover.
I know.
Something.
I've heard. Yeah, and that's not on here. That's what I was looking for. Nope,
What's on there?
You got Justin's house, shot twice. The spirit box, woman says yes on spirit box. Justin's fear, middle bedroom, no. Justin's front bedroom, stop. And then a female yawn.
Oh, well.
Yeah, I know. Unless I still have it in my email somewhere from a long time ago. That's the only thing I can think of. Let me check really quick.
That was one of yours, actually.
Yeah.
That one with the voice over
Thought
the
so.
spirit box. Because it had your name on it.
Was it? See, that should have been in my file. Yeah, it'd take me too long to go through them and find them. Anyways, I'm going to talk about, I'll give another ghost story here as we're getting along. Me and my wife, our first apartment we lived in, it's right across from St. Anthony's Hospital on Homer Street. We lived in a top floor apartment. Somebody else lived down below. It's an old house. And when we first moved, were looking at it, we felt there was something there, but we felt it was pretty benign. You know, we weren't really too worried about it. But we both were like, yeah, I feel like there's a little kid here. And she turned to me, she goes, that's exactly what I'm feeling. Well, it was a lot more than that. We would see, there was one night we were laying in bed in the corner of the house that pointed towards the hospital. There was this like kind of greenish light that would come from the corner of the, like it's a slight green haze and maybe a little reddish pink in it that was coming from the corner of the room. And I turned to my wife, we're laying in bed, I go, I swear I see light there. She goes, I do too. What is that? I'm like, I don't know. And then
I asked you what that was.
Oh yeah.
Because I was like, because I had my glasses off.
And
I couldn't see, and I'm like, tell me you're seeing this, because I think I'm crazy.
yeah, I was like, I don't know, because I see stuff sometimes, you know, and I'm like, whatever. I'm the only one that can see it. But she's seeing it, I'm seeing it, and it started to turn into faces that started to like float into the room, and we just kind of laid there for what, a good hour, just watching it.
Yeah, we watched it move around the ceiling, around to the corner,
Wow.
kind of dropped off into our closet that
Yeah.
was like hell, a portal to hell or something.
We had this room, one room where we just put stuff in, and we never wanted to use that room.
Yeah, that room too. That one was scary.
We would hear stuff moving in that room. We'd be
That's where all
home.
my sewing stuff was. I would hear my patterns flutter.
Yeah. And then one day I was sleeping in bed, and I woke up to a woman. I could just see her dark hair and a kind of a white dress standing over me. That's about all I could see, was like out of the corner. I was just waking up, and to her leaning over me and going, "Get out."
Ew.
Yeah. And then Susan, now you had the similar experience, but it was much more pleasant.
Yeah, she never bothered me. She liked me.
She was like whispering sweet nothings to you or something.
Yeah, I
don't-
didn't understand what she was saying, but she just would lean over me and smile and just like whisper something, and I'm like,
She said, yeah. And she tells me to get out.
House. She yells at my husband, "Get out of the house."
And I mean, we would never, both of us would never want to be alone in that apartment. Like, she'd be working late, and I'd be there, and I'd like, I'm gonna go get coffee because I just don't want to stay here. I'd think she'd be coming home. You'd hear the door slam, or like somebody walking up the stairs to the apartment, and I'd go, oh, she's getting up, and I'd wait for her to walk in, and nobody'd be there. And so I'm like, okay, screw this, I'm going. One night I was really sick with the flu, and in that room we never wanted to use, I could see that same kind of glowish energy we saw that night in the bedroom, but it was more red, and it turned into this like demonic dark face, like an animal like face. And I was like, get out of my house, get out of my house. We broke our lease. One, because of the haunting, and two, because we wanted a dog and they didn't want us to have a dog.
After they told us we could have a dog.
After they told us we could have a dog, and then they turned their backs and said no. The reasons we were getting a dog because neither one of us wanted to be home alone.
But then we felt bad about leaving the dog home alone.
Yeah, and then we felt, yeah. I would leave the radio on for the dog to like give him some kind of something. I felt bad. I felt awful for leaving the dog. So we're like, we got to get out of here. But after we left, the people that lived downstairs,
and that's the dog.
That's the dog. That's Bella. That's the dog we got because of that apartment.
She saw herself and took off.
That's Bella. That's Dean. But when we went and talked to the people that lived downstairs, they're like, you guys moved out? And we're like, yeah, we moved out like 2 or 3 weeks ago.
Why'd you leave your dog?
They're like, well, they said, they didn't, not just our dog, they thought people were still up there. They would hear footsteps and people running around, and the landlords hadn't been back there yet. Nobody had touched it. They could hear people upstairs, and there was nobody there. They thought we were still there. So every time I drive back from work on the way home, I look at that apartment and go, oh, good times.
And people still live there.
Yeah, they rent it out, and I think people come and go quite often there, though.
Well, she said when we rented it, they couldn't keep people in that place.
No. Mm-mm.
Now I know why.
Yeah, exactly. That's my final ghost story of the night. I wanted to share that because I had her on here as my witness to that. Because she saw the same. I mean, seeing faces floating into your room. I swear, my feeling is that I've never I grew up at St. Anthony's Hospital, but I always had an uncomfortable feeling. I worked there even for a short time. Always had this feeling of being watched there and all that stuff. I think hospitals are like gateways or portals. And I swear there was a connection between this house and the hospital, and that these ghosts started coming into our house from the hospital. Is that Bella?
Yeah, they're crying. I think they want to go outside, and I'm telling them they can wait. They've got 5 minutes.
They always have to wait till my show's over with.
I try to make them wait. It doesn't always work that way. Otherwise, I have to clean up a mess.
I know this wasn't the most exciting show, but I wanted to have a show where we could hang out and talk just like campfire ghost stories.
Yeah.
You can tell them about the time you got in trouble for lighting up the cigarette at the Biltmore.
I did actually. I think the last, I don't know if that was an ITC episode or one before, I talked about that. I did talk about that on the show.
Did you?
Yeah, I talked about it. I said, you turned around and were about ready to slap me thinking I was lighting up a cigarette in this place, Biltmore Mansion in Asheville, North Carolina. And I'm like, I didn't do it.
He was a chain smoker at the time.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have put it through him for him to absent-mindedly just do it.
It
wasn't like I was turning around to be a bitch or anything. He would do stuff like that and be like, Jason.
Yeah, and then we could smell the smoke.
Yeah, the thing was I heard the lighter flick. I smelled the smoke. I'm like, you've got to be kidding me.
And there was no one smoking. This is a packed mansion full of tourists, and there's nobody smoking. Nobody would smoke in here. They had a billion signs up, old antique stuff. Yeah.
Well, what's even crazier is it was in the back, servant stairway. So
Yeah.
when we walked out of the door to the main hallway, the smoking room was right across from there.
Whoa.
The old smoking room. Nobody's using it anymore.
No, I mean the designated smokers room, for when they would have people over
Yeah.
and parties. That was just weird.
And it smelled like a cigar. It smelled like a cigar. It didn't even
Yeah.
smell like a cigarette. And yeah, we had a lot of weird stuff when we went through that tour at Biltmore. I do have one other story I want to share because you're on here, Susan. Is the Johnson Road story.
Oh yeah, that's right.
This one's really weird. I'll tell this because we're almost out of time, and I'll end that with this story. They're on Johnson Road in Michigan City. It goes between here and LaPorte. We were driving along this road. There's a part where it curves, and right where it curves at, we're driving up, and I see down the road, I see this shadow figure. And now I've talked about my shadow person experience. Well, this was exactly like the shadow person I'd seen with my eyes before. And it made me gasp in the car because I'm like, oh my God, it's happening again. Because it had been years since I had my shadow person experience. But I could see it it peeked out at us down the road. And I'm about to say something like, oh my God, there's the shadow person is what I'm about to say. But I don't even get a second to say that. The next thing that happens to both of us, she's driving, I'm in the passenger seat, is everything goes black. For both of us.
So fast that your vision goes purple.
Yeah, you could see purple. It's like somebody suddenly shut all the lights off in the world or blinded us. And, freaked her out. She's driving. And it was 3 seconds long, 4 seconds long?
Probably. It seemed like an eternity, but it was
yeah, while you're driving a car.
Yeah, it was probably literally only seconds.
But when this happened, one of the things is I think this happened around, we found at the same time, it was the anniversary of the car crash that happened there.
Oh, no kidding?
Yeah. There's 3 crosses that were still there on that road from the 3 teenagers that were killed at that turn. Right.
Is that the one
that happened when we were
the
4 teenagers?
Yes.
And the 3?
Yes.
Oh, it was when we were freshmen in high school?
Yes.
The kids from Rogers that got killed?
Yes. And when I asked people about it, and when I told them, when it happened, they thought that was the anniversary, around the anniversary or close to it. I think it was my mom I was talking about that.
I wish I could remember. Yeah,
I don't remember now.
Because we started dating in April, and we were going out to see Phil and Lindsay, so it had to have been around that time because it did happen. Like, because I remember the kid was a senior in high school. He was an only child, and he had a scholarship for basketball to go to some college, and like it was just devastating. His parents were absolutely devastated.
Oh yeah.
Because he wasn't driving. He was just a passenger, but he was killed.
But it's weird that, and there's other accidents that happened at that same corner. It's not a corner, it's like a part with
it's a curve that really needs to have a better mark.
And there's been other accidents. I think there's been other deaths at that curve too, if I remember right. But it's weird, if these deaths have happened there, and for us, we could have crashed. If anything, she would have freaked out. And she didn't. She kept her cool. I don't know how you frickin' kept her cool.
I'm a really good driver.
Yeah. I would have freaked out because it was literally like somebody shut the lights out in the world. It was I couldn't see anything. I was like, somebody turned my vision completely off. And like she said, I started seeing purple in those 3 seconds. It was how quick it happened. And like we both as soon as our vision came back, we looked at each other like, oh my God, I was blind. And she goes, I was blind. Oh my God. So we were like, jabbering away because we're like, can't believe that just happened. And I'm like, did you see the shadow person down on the end of the road? I don't remember. You didn't see the shadow person.
I don't remember seeing the shadow person.
You didn't see the shadow
person. I just remember
person.
the lights, like all of a sudden, like the stars and everything were just gone.
Yeah, I saw the shadow person right before it happened.
I know there has been a lot of accidents in that area. It makes you wonder if
there's a graveyard right there too.
Right by like water.
If all those people went through what you went through and got in accidents because of it.
That's what we've always wondered.
Yeah. See, my dad, like I grew up in Chicago. My dad drove Chicago, so I'm used to driving. Like out here, this driving is like nothing. Like it's piece of cake. So put me in Chicago. Let's go.
Now my computer hasn't done it yet, but it's time travel right now. Didn't the time change?
Yeah, it doesn't change till 2 o'clock in the morning.
It's at 2 o'clock, but we're technically time traveling.
Yeah, we still have another hour of the show if you want to go.
No. I have to be up early for work.
I'm kidding. I've got a little antsy boy here.
Well, thank you guys for coming and hanging out tonight.
Thank you.
It was a lot of fun.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you guys so much. Even technical difficulties that we had. We were going to have Katrina go out to haunted places, but they had the hurricane. So the weather ruined that.
Well, we didn't get the hurricane, but we have
the weather.
No, the rain.
Yeah.
Horribly.
Yeah, that was a pretty nasty hurricane.
Yeah. What are you saying, Mike?
It was.
Another investigation going on for my second haunted ship just to make Damelos.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I'll be down in Baltimore at the Coast Guard Entertaining.
Oh, yes, you told me about that.
It's gonna be awesome. From what I hear, it's rocking. Oh,
I still want to do a haunted ship.
Can't wait to hear it.
Yeah. Well, you get evidence, Mike. Whatever you want to do, we'll get you back on the show and we'll play it. We'll present it.
No problem. You got a standing invite if you want to join me.
I know. There's no way I could make it. If I could, I would.
Hi, Dean.
Hi, Dean.
There's Judy.
You say hi, Dean?
Hi, Dean.
You can put an earphone in his head.
Hi, Dean.
No, he can hear you.
Oh, he can hear you?
Yeah, I took the headphones out so he can hear you. That's why I said hi, Judy.
You got to come back and play here again, Dean.
Daddy.
Hey, buddy. I'll be up in a minute.
Yeah, I bet it's weird for him to see
Aw,
you
cutie pie.
on the thing like that.
Yeah.
It was so nice seeing you again.
Yeah, Katrina.
Katrina.
December, when you come up, Katrina, I talked to that client, and they would definitely be interested in having you come check their house out. They'll be in town. They'll get ready to leave for town on the 18th. So.
I was going to say that they said they were leaving.
Okay, I gave you those dates that I'll be available because I'm going to have to. I have many that are going to meet me at the Blue Chip.
Okay.
Because I have like 22 people and I only got one night. So.
Okay.
What are you doing at the Blue Chip?
I'm doing readings.
Oh yeah.
Everybody's having a come, and I'll be doing a night full in. It's another part of Indiana. I forget the name of it, but I think it's your capital.
Indianapolis.
Yes. That's it. So
Is the Blue Chip one open to the public, Katrina?
Judy, I will do a personal for you, hon.
Awesome. Thank you.
You guys have a personal in my heart, and you live a little ways from my mom, so
I got people that are like, when is she coming back up that I work with and stuff? Like, I want to get her reading. I'm like, she's a very busy woman. I don't know. I'll try to get you her information.
October has been fantastic, and I just had my first international readings that came down from Brazil, and
awesome.
I was very excited. I'm excited where I'm
That's
going,
awesome.
and I'll be there during the summertime. But I literally have 8 days, and of course, family is first. So I'm putting one aside, and I'm putting one aside for you guys.
Okay.
And of course, if you get down here for Texas, we'll have to have you visit me.
Are you near Dallas?
No, hon, but we can travel. San Antonio, I'm going to have some stuff in San Antonio. I'm going with some girlfriends, and the 14th and the 15th of November, and my understanding is very haunted. So I'm excited to get in there.
We'll definitely have to take a vacation down to Texas. We need to go on a vacation somewhere one of these days. So everybody knows.
One of these days?
One of these days, yeah. It's been too long. Again, thank you guys. Thank you, Jamie and Jeff. And Jeff with his anonymous mask in the background. Creepy.
His little green screen turned out pretty good, though.
Is that? Oh, let me put that up. You guys didn't. I forgot to put that up. Dang it.
That's the cemetery picture we took a couple weeks ago.
You should have said something. I forgot that you had that up. You gotta flip to the main line channel because I got it selected on them now.
I flipped it. It was pretty cool. The ghost in the background too.
Yeah, we put a little stuff.
It was
around.
nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you guys.
I forgot. You should have said something. I should have put that up earlier. I forgot you had that going on the green screen. That is so cool.
I'm done. You can have it.
Took a while to get it to go.
Well, next week. Yeah. Next Sunday, I'm going to have Dave Spinks on. That'll be a 10 to midnight show because I know I got to work that day. Dave Spinks has Country Road Paranormal on YouTube. He does a lot of investigating. Uses a lot of the Ghost Hunter apps for Anthony Sanchez. So we're going to talk about his investigations. He's been doing a lot, of course, for October. He said he's going to maybe have some evidence to play on my show from his last week of doing stuff. He was hoping maybe he could play. So I'm excited to have him on.
I think he even did a live show tonight. I thought he did maybe one last night, the night before.
He did one last night, I thought. He might have had one.
I missed them, but yeah, I was seeing the post.
Yeah, so I'm excited to have him on. I know he's got a lot of fans, and I had a lot of people. And I thank Krista Fleck for setting up that interview. She just talking with her, next thing I know, she's messaging him and telling him, hey, you should be on Jason's show. And so she set that up. So thank you, Krista. All right. And then after that, I have Alex Matuso. I probably butchered her name on the 15th. That's what I got lined up for the next couple weeks.
I wanted to say something. Isn't it crazy what happened with Sandra?
Yeah.
With her, but I just thought I'd throw that out there.
Oh, I'm sorry. I completely forgot about that. Yeah, it's awful. She had a blood clot that caused her to have a heart attack.
Almost lost her arm.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been sending lots of white light. That's one woman that I would like to go and see if Sandra.
You remember from the show with the...
Oh, yeah, with the husband that...
Yes.
Oh, my God.
She had a heart attack, was it, what, 2 or 3 days ago? Or?
Yeah, she was in Arizona.
Staying at the house.
Yeah, I would like to... Everybody keep her in your thoughts and hope her a very fast, speedy recovery. And hope she does better and gets well soon. So, Sandy, I hope you're doing good. I hope you're doing better out there. Thank you, Katrina, for bringing that up. I was going to bring that up earlier in the show, and I completely forgot about it. So thank you. And I feel awful now.
Don't feel awful.
I was going to bring it up. I was going to bring that up too, because we both know Sandy after that show. So, yeah, Sandy, if you're listening, or if you do end up listening, I hope you get better soon and take care of yourself, hon.
And I'm still trying to get out there.
Yeah, you will. I know you'll try. You know, because she's. If anybody knows, we had the Shadow Person episode we did with Sandy, and we had a lot of weird stuff happen on that show, and she still has stuff going on in her home, and hopefully it doesn't bother her right now.
Kitchen counter.
So, all right, guys, I'm playing the exit music.
Happy Halloween,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Happy
Bye.
Halloween.
Bye.
See you
later.
Nice meeting you. Bye-bye.
All right, next Halloween we'll do it again. All right, so next Sunday, again, Dave Speaks, 10 to midnight. We're going to have him on, and then the 15th, Alex Matuso, we're going to have her on. She's written a book, I think, and works with a haunted theater. I got to get her bio up. Have a great night, guys. Have a great Halloween. Thanks for watching.
All my thoughts of place. Am I still awake? When you get the time, leave your soul behind. All the signs of life, am I still gonna away where silence holds the day. Just a witness where the living am I on my I am just one request. I get when times are still, my past no longer will ever find my fill.
Again, thanks for watching, people. Again, next Sunday, 10 p.m. to midnight Central Time. Gonna have Dave Speaks on from Countryside Paranormal, Country Road Paranormal. I butchered that. We're gonna show some of his videos, talk about his upcoming investigations, his past investigations, why he got into it. Can't wait to have him on. And then November 15th, Alex Matuso, we're gonna have her on too as well. We got more coming up too. We're gonna look at the November ITC Collective show. I gotta talk about this. Gonna have Matt Payne and his wife Shelly on for the ITC Collective show. I forgot to mention that. We're gonna talk about our app we've been working on called Raven. That's gonna be really cool. It's coming out in the next week. See you guys next Sunday, and happy Halloween.